Krishna Prestaya Tale Srimate Sila Swarupananda Paramahamsa Utana You Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Sira Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namo Sira Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gorakaruna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prasthayate Namo Swarupananda. Okay, clap. Ramahamsa, girls. Namine. Clap your hands. Gorakaruna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prasthayate. Bhajashri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Continue clapping. Bhajashri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. I want mouths all open. Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Everybody louder. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Vrindavan. Pala Govinda Rama Kalindi Madana Mohana. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare. Girls, Benedict. More. Jaya Jaya Sita Swami Ananda Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Sita Swami Ananda Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Saraswati Ganges Haribol.
Bull.
Haribol. Okay, do you have any questions from last Monday's lecture? Anything that you cannot grasp? Anything that you did not understand? Or anything that confused you? Is there any? Who were here last Monday? Raise your hand. Raise arm. When you say raise like that, diba? Who were here last Monday? They're afraid because if they will say, I will call them. Who were here last Monday? Okay. So I hope you had it clear. The topic last Monday was about one must curb the false ego to be able to receive God's mercy. And we had an example of the miseries that are caused by Mother Nature. We have several disasters that are occurring since 2020. To name one is the current eruption of Taal volcano. Okay. So, what have you noticed with the people there? Because if I have a lecture, I want you to really feel what is going on around us so that we can immediately apply the lecture in our life. It's not a kind of abstract. You know what's abstract? Parang sa mind lang lahat. But it is a real happening that is going on that can greatly affect everyone. Not only us, but our relatives and everybody. Okay? So what have you, if you did not hear the news or if you did not watch the FB or the YouTube, what can you imagine in that kind of catastrophe? Catastrophe meaning calamity or disaster. What can you imagine? For example, we were told that Muswan Peak. Do you know where's Muswan Peak? Don't you notice that when you go there, when you pass by Muswan Peak, going to Cagayan or going to Valencia, you can see boulders. You know what's boulders? It's like a house of, the size of a house of rocks. You can see rocks, same as size of a house. You cannot see that as rock. You cannot say that as rock, but that's boulder. Boulder is huge rock. Where do you think these boulders come from? If you try to analyze. So and I heard it's in the history of Bukidnon that it once erupted. It once erupted, and maybe these boulders came from inside. Yeah? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible? Yes or no? Yes. Otherwise, they won't exist there. So just imagine, that's Taal volcano. And it's erupting as it's continuing to spew smokes and lava and lahar. What do you think would people do living nearby? Ano yung gagawin nila? Ninyo, ano kaya ang gagawin nila? Are they happy? What will the businessman feel or do having this kind of environment? What will happen to their investment? Do you think they will be happy? Did they expect that? And you, as a businessman, or as anyone that is living there, because when the eruption goes, it does not only affect people living nearby, like 100 kilometers away will get affected, just like now in Taal. It's happening in Taal, in Tagaytay, but already in Manila, in the part of, where is it? I think the part of Laguna is already experiencing ashfall. That's why it was advised that they need to wear N95 mask. And there are some crazy businessmen that hoard the mask. And instead of selling it for 50 pesos, at least it was used to be 50 only. Now it's already 100. They're grabbing the chance that they will make money from the disaster. There are people who are like that. You know, when there are sometimes there is a truck that gets, for example, it turned turtle in a certain area, then the cargo of the truck goes down, or for example, it's bottle of sodas or whatever, then people will grab the opportunity of taking all the cargoes from there, and they will keep it so that it's like hulog ng langit, instead of maybe helping those who are experiencing that disaster. So what will the people nearby feel? Just like in Taal now. They spent all their life spending, investing in their career, in their business, in their endeavors. Just one day to find out that everything is gone. It is covered by lahar or lava or whatever. Just like in Mount Pinatubo before, we were in business with Sir during that time when it erupted. And it was never expected that that Mount Pinatubo is that active and very violent. Now, if it's level 4 in Taal, I have not monitored what level is it now. But the last time I learned it was level 4. But in Pinatubo, it reached up to almost 100. It's so high. Yung dating ng putok niya, yung lakas, the intensity. Just imagine that. So, Mount Pinatubo is very far. It's in Pampanga. And we just lived in Las Piñas. But we can still see the dust. Yung roof namin, puno pa rin kasi that was the time when I think I had my first son. Puno pa rin yung roof namin ng ash. So the same thing, what's happening in Taal. And what I've told you last Monday, it points to that we are not in control. Yeah? So, the greatest frustration that people experience in this world is when they think they own something. Ownership. I own this house. I own this lot. I own these children. I own my parents. I own my spouse. That's my car. That's my land. That kind of mentality is a very frustrating mentality. Because in the truer sense, sa totoong totoo, in scriptures and in reality, whether people believe or not, we don't own anything. Did you know that? Oh, I own my shirt because I paid for this. I owned my PE uniform. I owned my bag because I paid the installment of this bag. I own this drum set. I own this school. I own these lots because the the papers are under my name. This mentality will cause us so much stress and anxiety. Because as I've said, no one owns anything in this world. So you have to correct your thinking, your notion that you own whatever you have possessed in you. And our parents have that kind of mentality. That is why when we lose something, for example, we own a cell phone. Hindi pa tapos binayaran the installment for 1 year or 2 years. It's gone. So we feel so devastated because we think we own it. Actually, and in reality, we don't own anything. But temporarily, we have that in our possession as caretaker or shepherd. When you have that mentality of thinking that I own my children, my child has no right to do this, to do that, to have relationship because I own them. They're not yet it's not yet time for them to have a relationship with someone because there's this and that. You have so many things in mind. You have plans in your life that someday our family will live in honey and roses. And if you have that kind of thinking, and everything will crumble at that time, that when that time comes, then you will be feeling frustrated and devastated. You know what's devastated? You're so down that it's hard to cope, that you don't like to live anymore. You like to die. You don't like to survive anymore. You have no inspiration, you have no motivation. You just like to merge in the ocean of darkness. You have not felt yet frustration or depression. You ask those people who have experienced that. When their loved ones left them, when their greatest possession was gone, how did these people feel? Tayo nga, ballpen lang, nawala, giyera na. Diba? That's why our parents are telling us, nak, tie it, higti. Put name, personalize it, so that when someone sees that, they will immediately return. But there are some people who have this sticky hand, that when they see it, it's like, it's my opportunity to own this thing. So I'll keep it instead of returning it. Ownership. I own it because I found it. Di ba meron cliche? Finder's keeper. That does not apply. Finder's keeper. Whoever finds, you keep it. That does not apply. You only keep when it's yours. If it does not belong to you, you have to return it. For example, a couple, husband and wife, they so-called love each other. Then one day, the husband came home and discovered that his wife has another man. What do you think will the husband do? Okay? If you were in the shoes of that husband, what would you do? Ano kayang gagawin nyo? Huh? Patay! Diba? Hindi pwede. She is mine. Or the wife also will discover that her husband has somebody. What would she feel? What would she say? That cannot be. He is mine. We've exchanged I do's in the church. We vowed, we promised to each other that I for him and she for me. But Since we are not in control, things go in disarray. It's not always what we planned that happens. Just like what happens to Taal volcano now. We can only plan as what I've said, but not all the time we are in control of them. So this first mantra of the Sri Isopanisad, you write it there. Sri Isopanisad, first mantra. What do you mean by mantra? We've already discussed that in the past. Vaikuntha, what is mantra? First mantra of the Sri Isopanisad. Tope, why are you frowning? Do you know the meaning? What is the meaning of man in mantra? Angela? Man. Miss Joy, can you remember? Mantra. Man means mind. I'll put it there. Mantra means mind. And tra means to draw away from. So mantra means our mind is drawn away from the miseries, the contaminations of this world. So first mantra, meaning prayer. When you pray, your mind is drawn away from this material world. You are elevated in transcendence. Do you know that? That when you pray, immediately you are, that is if you're that sincere in your prayers. But prayers are really meant for some transcendence. But tayo, pag sabing prayer, Lord, please, alam niyo na anong kasunod? Papasara, Jud ko, Lord. Lord, ang akong gi-memorize, I hope I can still remember. Lord, yung kodigo ko na ginawa, dapat sana hindi mahuli. Kalukuhan. Pati kalukuhan nyo, dinadamay nyo si Lord. So when you pray sincerely. So what is the prayer or the first mantra of the Sri Isopanisad? What is the spelling of Sri Isopanisad? Sri-Isopanisad. Boys, I want you to write that. Sri, S-R-I, Panisad, P-A-N-S-A-D, or P-A-N-S-H-A-D. What does it say? Who can remember? It's about ownership. Who can remember? So every year, Sir keeps on telling us this. Sir Carl, remember? Madam Riza, remember? Madam Hani Amor, since grade 7 to grade 12, grade 10, and now? Can you remember? Sir keeps on reminding us that. Okay, write it there. Everything animate or inanimate. I don't want to see people not writing. Grade 3, you can already write. Everything, animate or inanimate. You don't pronounce it as animate. Huh? It's animate or inanimate. Is owned and controlled by the Lord. Nicole, write down. Read it. Boys, read together with the girls. Okay. Everything animate and inanimate is owned and controlled by the Lord. Everything animate and inanimate, you put like that. Within this universe. So sa copy-paste, lagyan nyo ng arrow ba, sir? Then add, within this universe. What do you mean by animate and inanimate? Miss Jeza, science? Miss Lovely, what's the meaning of animate or inanimate? Louder. Animate or inanimate? Huh? Good. Living or non-living. Inanimate, non-living. Animate, living. Is owned and controlled by the Lord. Sir, aren't you writing? Continue. This is a continuation. One should therefore, continue that, is owned and controlled by the Lord. One should therefore accept, one should therefore accept only those things. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself. Necessary for himself. Which is, Phoebe. Siglingin-lingin, liraw-liraw. Right? Which is set aside. Set aside. As his quota. Which is set aside as his quota, and one should not accept. Why aren't you writing? And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. I repeat, one should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which is set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other thing, knowing well to whom they belong. Okay, I want you to read your notes. Everything, ready, go. I told you to insert within this universe. Again, go back. Everything, go. Animate or inanimate within this universe is owned and controlled by the Lord. One should therefore those things necessary for himself, which is set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other thing, knowing well to whom they belong. It is very self-explanatory. What is a quota of one person? Ano lang ang quota nyo? You try to check how big is your stomach. It's only this big. But why do we over-endeavor thinking that, why do we think of hoarding something which is good as like 5 years or 10 years? I remember my father, he was like that. When he built our house, he was thinking of para sa apo, sa tuhod, para makalive. And that's also good. But the thing is, you only have your quota. That is why when the mentality of the person is hoarding, thinking of the future and the future, kaya nga maraming tao, they get sick. And when you try to check why are they sick, it is because of thinking of something that is not yet happening. Kagaya ng mga nanay natin, hindi pa dumarating Worried na sila. Why is that? Because of ownership mentality. We already have our quota, whether we like it or not. Because in our previous lives, we also have our karma. So what is happening to us now? It is due to our karmic reaction in the past. And if we over endeavor and it's not due us, that will never come. So there's really no need of over endeavoring. Because if it will come, if it's due us, it will come. What do you mean by quota? Parang allotment. Okay. Allotment. What is due you? But because of jealousy, because of our mentality that we tend to always look at others, he has this, I don't have it. They have that, I don't have. So we tend to get jealous. We tend to get envious. That's why we crave, not thinking that that person's quota is different from yours. And that is why if you cannot realize, if you cannot have it, you feel so frustrated. So we cannot avoid to plan, to work hard, because that is our orientation in life. But when our plan has not come through, is not happening as we expect, we should not get depressed. We should not get stressed out or feel frustrated because there is already a plan for you. You see, understanding this first mantra of the Sri Isopanisad will take a great burden in every person. Don't you see politicians are quarreling or meddling over a property, over something, because of this not understanding the first mantra? And that is why if you have already a possession, just like you have a house, and for example, one day when you arrive home, your house is not there anymore. It was eaten by fire. Then you should not be very frustrated. Of course, we feel saddened by it, but not to the extent of feeling so devastated that you lose hope. It's happening because it's due you. Nothing that comes to us that it's not due us. Because not a blade of grass can move without the approval of Krishna, without the approval of God. Okay? So anything that's happening, it is a plan. And there is a reason for that. So a sane person or a mature, spiritually mature person will always understand what is happening in the environment to himself, and he will accept it without remorse and continue to move on. So the point is, while we are still not experiencing sadness, frustration, and depression, what do we do with our life? Are we still continue to accumulate material things, which in the end we will not be able to enjoy, which in the end we will not be able to have it? Are we still going to continue to crave for more and more, even if we already have enough? It will just give us burden. So while we are still not having that, burden. What are we going to do in our life? Are we going to continue to just live like other people that are not responsible of their action? So what do we do? In everything that we do, there is always bad and good karmic reaction. Good, if you do good, something good will happen to you. If you do bad, something bad will happen to you. So what are we going to do? So that God is happy with our actions, with our activity. In every activity that we do, we should offer it to God. We should offer it so that He will accept it when it's offered with love and devotion. When we offer our activity, the moment we wake up, you already pray, Lord, I surrender my life to you. I offer you my activity. But it's not that it's just a lip service that you do, that you offer it, but when you move, it's like still, you are the Lord of all you survey. So it's really like, it's up to you. So you just do your work sincerely, conscientiously, not harming anyone, not stepping on the shoes of other people. Be respectful. Do everything for the pleasure of God. Then everything will be fine. And always think of this first mantra of this Sri Isopanisad. Okay? So the things that we're doing here at Madana, the moment we start school, the chanting, we always chant, we offer Guru Puj and Arti. It's one way of pleasing God. It's one way of offering our activity to Him that pleases Him, that gives Him pleasure, and that purifies everybody. Our craving, our longingness of owning material things will little by little diminish because we learn from the lectures that these material things will never give us satisfaction, will never give us fulfillment. Did you understand? Did you all understand? Okay, can you please recite the first mantra? Go. Everything animate or inanimate within this universe is owned and controlled by the Lord. One should not therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which is set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So if someone gives you something, but you know that is not yours, you should not accept that because that is not already your quota. Understand? Okay, so let us end the lecture, and I hope you remember this, you memorize this first mantra, and I hope that our behavior can be corrected by listening to the lecture, because it's not enough to hear, but we need to understand and apply in our life. Para hindi na tayo masyadong lusty. You know what's lusty? Okay, full of lust, that para siyang kati na we keep on scratching. Topic, first mantra of Sri Isopanisad. So you know already that that points to ownership. False ownership. So sabihin ng mama mo, anak lang kita, wala kang karapatan. It's true biologically. Biologically. But spiritually, our God is our Father. We are all His children. Okay? Ano yung kinanta natin? Heart of Gold. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Tap, Shrawi, Hare Rama, Shrawi Bad Karma, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. I said clap hands. All. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, clap hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All of you. Vrindavan, Kalindi Sarasvati, Mathura, Navadvip, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's see who's louder, yellow or blue. Hare. Very good. Blue, I can't hear. Hare Hare, me only. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Who's louder? Hare Krishna. Yellow or blue? Teachers or students? Hare Hare, Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Gurudev. Loud! Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev. Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Gurudev. Say Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev.